Okay, today we are working on front kicks. And we're going to focus on controlling your leg and controlling your hip and controlling your foot while we do all of that. So first thing about front kicks. Normally we do front kicks and we kick a paddle. And that's just fine, but the paddle is this shape right here. So when my foot hits that, boom, I hit with the top of my foot, and that works just fine. But as soon as I'm trying to hit my partner who has a chest guard on, pretend that this wall is my partner and they have chest guard. As soon as I try and do that kick, if I make the same shape, I'm going to hit my toes first. So I like to practice front kicks as much as I can, working on curling my toes up so that I'm actually hitting with the ball of my foot right here. So on my hand, I'm not hitting with my toes, I'm not hitting with my heel, I'm hitting with the ball of my foot. So that'd be this part right here, right next to your toes. Boom. So that's the way that I like to do front kicks, because I'm not practicing to kick paddles, I'm practicing to kick my training partners. So that's just my way of doing it. You can do whatever works for you, but that's how I'm going to be doing it. So if you notice that difference with my toes,
Instructor Owen,
that is why. Yes, sir.
it says Zoom is unable to detect the camera. Make sure that your camera is powered and connected to your computer.
Okay, then what should you do? I think you should make sure that your camera is connected to power and turned on. Do you remember what fixed this last time? There's a certain 2 buttons that you pushed that changed it. Isan remembers. What is it, Isan? I think it's Shift F7. Try that, see if that helps.
Yeah, when we do that, it shows the Zoom is unable to detect the camera. When you do that, you can't.
I don't know then. That's the only trick I got. All right, let's see if you can figure it out. We're going to go ahead and move on with the rest of class. All right, so front kicks. Let's try some front kicks and see where you guys are at. So ready, kicking stance, and do as many front kicks as you have room for. And reset when you run out of room. And try again. Front kick. Front kick. Front kick. Very good. So go ahead and keep going. I'm going to talk at you a little bit while you're practicing those. So front kicks aren't one of my favorite kicks. And I think I figured out why that was last class with the adults talking about it a little bit. I think if I'm close enough to use a front kick, I would rather use my hands because that's what I'm used to. So I think I like the longer range Taekwondo kicks like round kicks and hook kicks and push kicks. And the stuff that happens when you're in closer, I don't like that range. I don't like picking my feet up that high when I'm in that range. So these aren't one of my favorites, but there's still a lot of really useful things about them because your front kick is the same shape with your leg as a round kick. You're just doing something different with your hips and your body. So it's a great way to cross-train for that. It also sets you up for axe kicks later, and it relates to push kicks as well. So we're focusing on this front kick so that you can have good front kicks and so that you can understand some more things about how your hips help you in all of these kicks. So let's jump into that a little bit. The first most important thing about a front kick is if you can't get your foot up in the air, you can't do a good one. So let's try some stretch kicks first and see how high we can get our leg. So the rules, you have to keep your bottom leg straight, you have to keep your kicking leg straight, and you have to keep your back and your head straight up. So if you go like this, is that a good stretch kick? No, because my leg isn't straight. I'm keeping my leg bent. Instructor Alex is going to work on this with you a little bit more later. But try to keep that leg, your toe pointed or curled up, and your knee nice and straight the whole time. Let's do about 8 on each side. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and switch other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. So those are stretch kicks. You're focusing on keeping your legs straight and moving the whole thing up at once. However high you can get on your stretch kick, you should be able to get a little bit higher on your front kick. Because when you do a front kick, you don't have to move your whole leg at once. You can kind of cheat and throw your knee up first and then snap your foot afterwards. So you can use the momentum of your hip and your knee to get even higher. So think about how high you were doing your stretch kicks and do some front kicks just in place and see if you can get your foot a little higher. See how high you can get your front kicks. And switch, try the other leg. So now that I'm getting these higher, starting to understand where they might be a little more useful than I thought. Good job, everyone. So that's the basics of your front kick. Now we're going to try to add a little bit more hip power to that. So to start, I'm going to have everyone turn sideways and pick up one knee. What we're going to do now is we're going to imagine that there's a paddle or a target about 6 inches in front of that knee. You have to find a way to get there without moving your bottom foot. So you have to slide your hips forward and touch that paddle and come back. Slide forward, touch, come back. And back. And back. Touch, reset. Touch, reset. Touch, reset. Good job, other side. Knee up. And slide your knee forward, touch, reset. Reach forward, touch. Reach forward, touch. Reach forward, touch. And touch. And touch. Good job. All right, now we're going to do something that's a little weird. We're going to start mixing mechanics. So that move that we just did where our hip is up and we're driving forward, I call that linear hip drive. Linear just means it's going in a straight line. So that means your hips are going straight forward and adding power to your kick. So when I do a round kick, am I using linear hip drive or am I using something else? Are my hips both going straight forward together? No, they're rotating, they're spinning. So you can actually use both of those at the same time. So we're going to try to sneak a little bit of rotational hip power into our front kick. So the way that's going to work is I'm going to have my toes facing forward and my knee facing forward. And I'm going to spin my toes out that way while I do this move that we were talking about. So instead of my hips both coming forward together, I'm going to slip. And one of them is going to come forward more than the other one. So this one with my leg up is going to come forward a little more. I'll show you all the other angles. So normally I was just going here with both hips coming forward. Now I'm going to slip and let this one stretch forward even farther. So this starts to get confusing because it feels more like a side kick or a round kick, but we're going to try to hold our leg and our knee in this angle. So I'm not going to spin over like a round kick or a side kick. I'm going to spin this side and leave this one up. All right, let's try that together. Knee up, stretch forward, and pivot a little bit. Reset. Stretch forward, pivot. Reset. Stretch, pivot. Reset. Good. So again, make sure you're not letting your knee roll over. This is a different twist than we've been working on. We've been working on a twist where both of your feet and your hips turn. Now we're leaving this foot up and just turning the other one. So it means your hips have to be able to open a lot more. And let's try the other side. Knee up, slide forward and open, leaving your foot hanging down. Reset, push and twist. Reset, push and twist. Reset, push, twist. Very good. All right, now let's try adding that back in to our front kick. So don't spin your foot as much as you would for a round kick, because then you're going to do a round kick on accident. But try driving this hip forward, spinning your foot a little bit, and snapping out from there. So your foot here should end up facing on a 45-degree angle and not farther than that. So the whole thing's gonna look like this. I'm in my stance. I'm gonna step forward, roll my hip forward, drive my knee up, front kick, and twist out to a 45-degree angle, and then come down and land forward. It's a lot of steps, but it's actually a pretty easy motion. Boom. Reset. Front kick. Forward. Nice job. Boom. Reset. Boom. Boom. And boom. Good job. Try the other leg. Nice job, everyone.
All right, let's go back to me, and I'm gonna tip this down so y'all can see me a little better. Okay, so again, kind of like what we've been doing in the park, I'm gonna be going over front kicks. Originally we were thinking about going into doing like hand strikes, doing jabs, crosses, hooks, and uppercuts, but we kind of started noticing that the connectivity between kicks and motion and upper body, when we we brushed on it a little bit last week, it wasn't really all there, and we think that's partly due to COVID and also due to flexibility of yourself. So what we're going to do is we're really trying to, from working around footwork our first couple weeks and then bringing in kicks, what we're going to try to do is we're working from the ground up. Okay, so we're working on connectivity. So we did our Tai Chi a little bit the other day, and we were talking about the muscles and movements in between it. And to be a black belt is to know how to control your mind, body, and soul. So when we're doing that, we need to know how to control our kicks, the full range of motion. A lot of people, it's almost like you're just doing like a dance move, and they're just doing kicks like this. They're just throwing their leg out there. But black belts, we need to know how to control the kick the whole way. All right, the whole way doing these motions. So what we really want to focus on, we're only going to be focusing on front kicks right now. Later this week, like Instructor Perry was just talking about, the similarities between a front kick and an axe kick, it's all in the same kind of range of motion. We're going to start going into axe kicks probably in the second half of this week. So for now, we're going to go back to front kicks, and I'm going to do some more physical training that we've been doing for the front kick. So starting off first is I'm going to have a chair. If you want to have a chair, you can, just to help you with balance. But if you want a little bit more of a challenge, see if you can balance on your own, okay? So let us start by doing, we're going to have our knee up, and we're just going to extend it out and hold it. We've been doing this in the park. We did it on the ground first. Now today we're doing it standing first, okay? So we're going to do the ground after this step. So let's have our knee come up just like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to control the full range of motion, all right? So try to master, being a black belt, try to master your body in these techniques. So let's have our leg come out, and we're going to extend it fully, hold it for 1 Mississippi or 2 Mississippi, and then bend it back, all right? We got to control that full range of motion, and we have to feel that in our entire muscle, okay? So let's get used to that. So we're going to do 10 of these. Let's do 10 together. Ready? And 1, extend, and bend. I'm keeping my knee up 90 degrees, or if I can't go that far and I can't extend my leg fully, I'm going to let my knee fall down just a little bit so that I can extend it fully. I want everyone's leg to be straight. I don't want it to be bent at all. It needs to be locked straight. Let me see that, okay? Ready? And 2, and bend. 3, and bend. 4, and bend. 5, and bend. Again, I'm still seeing some people do this. They go out, and then they let it fall. All right? It can't fall like that. You have to control it entering and exiting. So watch the difference. Everyone look at me. There's this, and then there's this. All right, I'm controlling the full range both ways. It works two different muscles and it makes my legs stronger so that I can kick better, okay? Let's keep going. And 6. And back. 7. And back. 8. And back. 9. And back. And 10. And back. All right? Right here in your hip should be screaming a little bit. It should be stinging. That is an okay feeling to have a little bit, okay? So a lot of people, as I've said before, they go to the gym, they work out, they do some sort of drill. They only go into the point where they start feeling uncomfortable. You're not going to grow if you do stuff when then hit that cusp of being uncomfortable and then stop there. You have to challenge yourself. If it feels uncomfortable, is it really feeling uncomfortable, or is it your body saying, this is uncomfortable, I want you to stop? Or is it saying that I can do actually 2 or 3 more, but because I'm lazy, I'm not going to do it? We don't want to do that. We want to try to have our muscles grow, because every time they fall asleep, when you fall asleep, they tell your body to make changes, and we want to make changes in getting better at these kicks. So let's try it the other leg. I'm going to stop talking. Ready? 1. And back. Good. 2. And back. Control it. Entering and exiting. 3. And back. 4. And back. 5. And back. 6. And back. 7. And back. 8. And back. 9. And back. 10. And back. Awesome. Good job, everybody. All right, so again, we got to control the full range of motion, extending and coming back. All right, that's really, really important. If anyone's seen Master Tom-A-Lot, Master Tom-A-Lot has this ridiculous capability of doing kicks really high, but he can also stay in that chamber position. I can't even do it. It almost looks like he's just doing this. And he just has his knee up there and he holds it there like he's a statue. And then he could kick it and then bring it back down. And he could just stand like that the whole time. That took so much training to do. I can't think of anybody, even like other students or instructors or masters, like I can't think of anyone who else can do that really, off the top of my head. All right, so that's something that you want to be able to do someday. So let's try it out. Let's go now on the ground. Let's try the same thing that we were doing. So you're gonna bring your knee up and you're gonna try to extend your leg, hold it, and then bend it. So try pointing your toes. So everybody remember the drill we did last week with push kicks and side kicks? When we pulled our toes and pushed them, I want you to push your toes, not pull them back towards your shins. Push them out like this, okay? So let's try it. Ready? Let's do 10 together. Ready? 1, hold it, and bend. Good. 2, extend, hold it, and bend. Again, look at my leg. Is it bent? Yes. It needs to be straight. If I can't straighten it, that means I need to let it down a little bit, like this. I'm letting it go down towards my feet so I can do that. But I don't want it to be easy, which means I want to go as high as I can while I can extend it fully. Does everybody understand? Yes, sir. All right. Let's continue. And 4. And bend. And 5. And bend. And 6. And bend. 7. And bend. 8. And bend. 9. And bend. 10. And bend. Good. Let's do the other leg. So again, my leg feels uncomfortable, but that's because I'm challenging it. If it wants to grow, it needs to have some sort of challenge, some sort of pain. All right? Well, not pain, but stretch. Okay, let's try the other foot. Ready? And 1. And bend. 2. And bend. 3, and bend. 4, and bend. 5, and bend. 6, and bend. 7, and bend. 8, and bend. 9, hold it out there and bend. And 10, hold it straight. I see some bent legs, straighten it and bend. Good job, everybody. All right, now I want everyone to pull out your left leg. We're gonna do a left leg hurdle stretch. All right, so I want you to pull your left leg like this. Again, we are bending at the waist. We're not hunching our back. A lot of people naturally want to do this. That's actually only just making you have horrible posture. All right, we want to stretch. So let's bend at the waist. Let's see if we can keep our back straight and lean forward and try to touch our toes. Good, let's try that. And hana, dual, set, net. Let me scoot back a little. Dasa, yasa, you go. You're done. A hop. And yo. Let's try the other side now. Right side. Reach for your toes. Again, stretching is your time to see if you can push your flexibility a little farther than you can. And then tell yourself where your marker is and see if you can beat that next time you do a drill. Okay? Ready, hana. Dual. Set. Net. Dasa. Yasa. You go. You're done. A hop. Yo. Good. Everyone butterfly. Let's do the same thing. Now butterfly. Keep your back straight. And we're going to go on to our last part of our drill for the day. I'm going to do a quick little mat chat and meditation. All right? Ready? Hana. Dual. Set. Net. Dasa. Yasa. You go. You're done. A hop. Yo. All right, everyone stand up. All right, last part of our drill. We're gonna get in a kicking stance. We are gonna be doing those front kicks like we've been taught by Instructor Owen. But this time, you're gonna do it in slow motion. I wanna see you control this the whole way. Everyone watch me for a second. I'm gonna do this in slow motion. I'm gonna come up slowly, extend, bend, and control my landing. Just like that, okay? But while I'm doing this, watch, I'm still doing what Instructor Owen's saying. I still turn my foot and I still pivot it, all right? It's a little harder to do slow, but I'm still trying to do it and see if I can keep my balance as a challenge to myself to try to do good technique while doing it slow. Again, to be a black belt is to control yourself physically, mentally. So let's prove it, all right? So let's do 2 front kicks, all right? So let's try it out and go. 1, how slow can you do it? Extend out fully and have good posture with your back straight, hands up. Good, now try the other side. Knee comes up. I still have my hands up. I extend my leg. I point. I put it down in front of me in that kicking stance. Good. When you're doing those 2, run back and give yourself some more room. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's have everybody do 10. Let's do 10. You can either do them with me. Yeah, let's do them with me. Do them with me. Ready? And go. 1. Or maybe we'll do 5 since it's so slow. And time is running out.
We got 1 minute.
Yeah, okay. Let's do 2 more, everybody. 2 more. And slow. Knee comes up. extend, hold, bend, and down. Whoa! And next one, go. Knee up, extend, bend, and down. Awesome job, everybody. Okay, so I want everybody to start challenging themselves when you come to class. Instead of just trying to do class like it's a workout and you go in and it's done and then you go on to do whatever you want to do, let's not treat Taekwondo like that anymore. Let's try treating it like, all right, so this is my knowledge. What can I do differently this time to become a better martial artist, to become more of a black belt? I'm going to give you all a personal goal of mine. I recently just tested for my 3rd degree black belt, but I've told myself when I do my 4th degree, and Instructor Perry and I will be testing for our master rank. All right, so he will be Master Hartman, and I will be Master Mills at some day. My goal, I'm telling you all now, so you can hold me accountable to this too, is that I am going to get better at my upper game, my punches and hand strikes. I'm going to get better at self-defense from that aspect, and I'm going to try to compete in a tournament so that I can challenge myself and tell myself I'm not getting my new belt until I compete in a tournament and feel confident with my abilities upwards. Because I know Taekwondo well, and I could do my kicks good, but my punches and my upper body game, because I'm a defensive fighter, is not that good. So I'm going to challenge myself. And you all can hold me accountable. They'll be like, Instructor Alex, how's your upper game? I'm going to be like, I probably should be practicing more. So what are some goals that you could give yourself? All right, so let's sit on down really quickly. Let's do a little bit of a meditation. And let this question go in your head while you're meditating. All right?
All right, everyone, grab a seat, get comfortable. So we were working on a lot of control exercises in class today, making our leg go nice and slow out, nice and slow back in. So let's try doing the same thing with our breath. So try to bring as much focus and control as you can to your breath. Try to breathe as fully and as slowly as you can. Fill your lungs all the way up, and as slowly and as fully as you can all the way out. So part of the control here is being aware of distractions. It's not that you're trying not to be distracted, because that won't work. As soon as you think, I'm not going to be distracted, that thought itself is a distraction. So it's okay to be distracted. Just try to notice when you are distracted and bring your focus right back to your breath as soon as you notice. All right, let's try. We'll do about a minute together. So stretch your back up nice and tall. Find a quiet spot for your hands. Relax your eyes closed. And bring all of your focus and attention to your breath. All right, everyone, excellent job. Thanks for meditating with me today. Let's go ahead and stand up and bow out. Yay. Excellent job, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Bye. Bye.